You're now listening to a Rat House production podcast. For more podcasts like this, head to RATTHAUS.net.
We are back for another episode of the Hurrayforjose podcast. And today's guest is Senor Aaron.
Hello. How you doing?
Pretty good, man. How you doing?
Great. Just came back from Lightning in a Bottle, and it was like a week-long vacation. It was amazing. I feel rejuvenated, battery. I actually don't look like a vampire for the first time in my life in a while.
Nice. Yeah. I'm still like ashy red right now.
Oh, I got burnt. For a while.
Extra crispy.
My nose already peeled.
Nice. But first things first, before we really get into the episode and get deep into it, let's talk about our sponsors for a little bit. Because, yes, we have sponsors. Well, at least now that I'm on Rat House, Hurrayforjose's got sponsors.
Yeah.
For the first time in years. For you who like to read, and I know a lot of my listeners like to read the conspiracies, like to read political things, like to read funny books, like to read in general.
Aliens,
like to research a bunch of stuff, yeah. And of course, a lot of them like podcasts. So why not get some audiobooks with our sponsor, Audible? And all you need to do is go to audibletrial.com/rathouse, RATTHAUS. You get 1 month for free and one book.
I tried the free trial, and honestly, it's been 4 months now that I'm actually paying for it.
It gets you hooked.
So good, yeah.
It gets you hooked.
It really does.
Big time.
Well, especially since, one, we're active readers. We read comic books and we read movies, everything. There's so much
there's
time.
a
There's
lot in there.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is, too, a lot of comedians actually have their own books, and they do their own readings for their books. So not only do you get the book, you also get extra little things where they go into even more detail about what's going on. Yeah. So that makes that a whole lot better in my perspective.
That's great.
And also for you guys who are nerds, geeks, and just pretty much collectors of any of that sort of things, you guys can go to rathouse.net, RATTHAUS.net, click on our Geek Fuel banner to get 30% off of your first box. And it's full of a whole bunch of stuff. I think on one of them it was pretty cool. It wasn't it the Link phone charger? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a Link phone charger.
Yeah, it looked like a little sword, right?
Yeah, and then like it glowed and stuff. It was pretty sick. They have a bunch of stuff that comes with T-shirts, pretty much everything on there. And also, you guys can also click on the Hot Topic link, and you get discounts on like Funko Pops, on shirts, on any kind of clothing, like bracelets and stuff. Get all a mad discount on them.
You can get 2 for 1 with those Funko Pops. So
yeah. There's exclusive ones, and like there's certain like limits to, not limits to how many you can get, but limited time on certain ones where the sale will kind of like transfer over to different ones and stuff. So check them out. Get what you can as soon as you can. It's helping us out, so it's also helping you out. And if you don't like to drink and drive, hopefully you don't, because that's bad. If you don't want to get a DUI, or you don't want to get another DUI, or you're just stranded somewhere, use our Lyft code, RHP. You get 10 rides, $5 off for first-time users. Yeah, that's our sponsors right there.
Exactly.
That's pretty much it. All done. So yeah, you went to Lightning in a Bottle.
Yeah.
What was that about?
Pretty much, it's like half rave, half like spiritual development. Yeah. Because during the day, like you pretty much from Wednesday we get there at 11 in the morning, and then it goes on to pretty much Monday noon. But we try to leave before, at 7 in the morning on Monday, just to avoid the thousands and thousands of cars coming out. Because last year we made the mistake and got trapped, and it's just like,
oh yeah, it's a hassle.
Oh yeah, where you just see a mob of people trying to get to a line. If there's no line structure, and you're just trying to get within and get to that road, and it was really bad. But we got the self-parking pass where you can actually go to your camping spot and park your car right there.
Yeah, I think that's with any kind of like festival like that where you can actually park in the place, or if they have their exclusive parking, I think it's always better to buy your tickets with the parking pass already included.
Oh, yeah.
It's a little bit more, but you get in and out a lot faster. You don't have to deal with a whole bunch of stuff. You just show up, show them the thing. You're like, all right, we're good. We're good to go.
Yeah, and then pretty much they have like a lot of like learning kitchen area. They have the Wiccan area, which is nothing but like all kinds of different religions. Where they have the fire ceremonies, the water ceremonies. I did we talked about it before on Hunt for the Paranormal in our panel at the last WeirdCon where I did the tobacco ritual, so I got to do that again, and this time it was a lot different. But there's all kinds of little classes and little seminars where you're either learning how to get more involved in the environment or the government or whatever it is you're looking to do.
Yeah.
Like I even met this guy who's an angel interpreter in a sense where
what?
Yeah, he claims that he is from the angelic realm where like we've discussed this a lot on Hunt for the Paranormal. Where we're reincarnated in a sense, but some of us could be actually reincarnated angels, spirits, non-human spirits.
I think to be like reincarnated into an angel, you'd have to be a really good person.
Or you could have been an angel that was reincarnated into human to experience that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's that aspect. Yeah, definitely.
So there was him, and like I even got to meet him and talk to him because they're looking for more help with their like social medias and stuff like that. So it was it was great for me to expand and learn from others. I might actually be in charge of that segment of their show.
Yeah, that'd be pretty dope.
Yeah, but he also did a chakra cleansing where we just went through and he had all the sound bowls and essential oils. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of sorry about that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try not to do that. But yeah, my fiance, she went to an all women's like little seminar where it was like a woman empowering thing. And we kind of got I got a little upset about it because that's like, I consider myself Wiccan, but not in the idea where it feels a little bit like that aspect of the Wiccans because the other religions were so male oriented that they pushed the woman side of it a little too much.
So was the lightning in a bottle just pretty much one giant cocktail of different, like how do you say it? Like different.
It's really
like
it's
there's
hard
like
to explain.
So is it really heavily based on spirituality type of thing?
A lot of
so
it,
there's
yeah,
like a lot of Wiccans, a lot of people who practice different kinds of like stuff like that, or no?
Yeah. There's the full on hippie. Like I consider myself a modern hippie where I like technology and I shower regularly. But there's those other types where they don't shower at all. I overheard a guy talking about how it's a great idea to drink your piss because you're just recycling those nutrients.
Oh no, I'm good with that.
That's where we different.
I'm not. No,
I'm like that doesn't make any sense.
I like clean water.
No, that doesn't make any sense. Like I'm sorry, that's why it's waste. Your
unless
body
you're
got those nutrients.
in a survival situation, but even then,
actually, Daryl, the buddy that was on the panel with us at WeirdCon, he taught me the right way to do that. What you do, you take like a bottle, right, or a cup, and you put it in like sand or something, right?
Yeah,
and you put a plastic like.
What you do is you dig a big ass hole, and you pee inside the hole.
Or you told me about that.
Yeah, you pee inside the hole, and you put a bottle inside in the middle of it, and on top of the hole you put like a clear bag or saran wrap or something on top, and then you like weigh it down like on each side. But then in the middle you put like a penny or a small like rock or something to weigh it down right in the middle of the cup. So when the sun hits it, all the evaporation, it all goes up, gets stuck on the bag, but then it all just drips down to the heavy point, just dripping down, filtering it out. Yeah.
Like kind of pretty much like how the clouds works. So you don't have to drink your piss even when you're in a situation like that. As long as you got a penny, saran wrap, and a cup.
I mean, like worst case scenario, if you're in the desert and that's all you got, then you have fucking go for it. But
because it's 2 days without water before you die, right?
I think they say 3, I believe, but I think you can go a little bit more. Yeah. I think it just depends on where you're at. If you're in a humid spot, I think you might be a little bit good. But if you're in the desert, it might be 3.
Yeah, and then I also learned from the Erica Gragnon, the person that did the tobacco ritual with me, that she also does out of like Barstow, journeys, spiritual journeys, or within where you
kind of like ayahuasca type of stuff.
Not so much, but on food deprivation in a sense.
Oh, okay.
Where you don't eat, you don't drink for 3 days, and then they give you a little bit of fruit at certain points, and then once you do that the first year, the next year you do like 6 days, and by the end of it you do 10 days. So I was like really curious because I'm all about self-growth and like especially in the spirituality of myself, but I do have my limits as a diabetic. So I was really curious to talk to her about that, which I ended up doing it. And we're spiritualists, but before we do the tobacco, like first off, who's allergic to tobacco. You
Yeah.
know, we got
I
alternatives.
never even thought about that.
Yeah.
Allergies to tobacco.
Yeah, well, that's what she makes sure to, because there's alternatives. You know, like that's something we believe is like, it's not so much rule books or specifics, it's what people had available to them.
Yeah.
So for me as a diabetic, the whole food deprivation, water deprivation,
can get kind of sketchy.
It's not the
yeah.
thing I should do, or I should find a specialist. But then again, there's ayahuasca. There's all these other routes that I could probably take.
There's a lot out there.
So I just have to research a little bit more.
Like
and
I
see
think
what's
a guy that you would like is Aubrey Marcus. He's also known as the warrior poet.
Oh, okay.
And he has blogs about it and stuff where he goes out on different things to find, I guess, like holistic medicines.
Okay.
And he goes out on just trips the fuck out on journeys and stuff, dude.
I kind of want to record my experience just to show it, and
You
that
should.
way
Why not?
I could talk. Well, yeah, but
Why not?
because there's certain things like where I wasn't allowed to record certain things, and there's some things for us, and there is some things, but again, I just have to talk to him and be polite and respectful, and like it's one thing to record other people, but it is myself. It's my journey. So
I think they'd be cool if you record the ritual, but only facing yourself, you know?
Yeah.
Like only recording yourself, kind of like vlog style.
yeah, because if anybody wants to do it, they have to seek it and really do it themselves.
So you can do it like that. But going back on the whole not eating thing, there's this man in, I believe it was India, where he's gone, I think, since he was 7 or 8 years old.
Wow.
I guess he went wandering off, and he was in a cave, and supposedly he said that some higher up, like goddess or something like that, told him that he has to live here in the cave. And he's like, "What about food and water and like the bathroom and all that?" She's like, "Don't worry, we'll help you out with that."
Provide.
Yeah, so he's been doing that just pretty much off of meditation and being in this cave pretty much the rest of his life, being in here. And yeah, he was surviving without food, without water, anything like that. And people didn't believe him. And then they actually brought him to like a lab pretty much where they held him in a room for 2 weeks without any food or water. And yeah, they were checking his pulse. He was completely healthy. He was fine. Wow. His body was just actually making his own nutrients, because he was saying that essentially all the foods that we eat and all this stuff are just chemicals, and his body makes those chemicals to give him nutrients.
Well, yeah, I actually spoke to several people there. I thought they were super high on acid or something, but
I mean, they could have been.
Well, that's what they were saying. But then when we were talking, it sounds like no, those are only things that are like triggered by certain things. So I kind of think, like, I got their number. I got to email them, because they're like, if you need a place to stay in San Francisco, we got like so nice. That's how like everybody there. If you're alone, they'll call you in. Yeah, hey, what's your name?
That's
how
the
doing?
Manson family started.
Yeah, not so much. Well, me be me. That's always where my mind is.
Just don't drink the community Kool-Aid, man.
Yeah,
but
they're super friendly, and like even his car is like, thank you, like, for being like. I love you because the universe conspired to bring us together to meet, to be friends. And like, and that's what's printed on his car. That's how fucking nice this guy is.
just a thank you note on his car.
Pretty much with his name, just his name and his email. Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
I was like, dude, this is awesome. Like, thank you. It was really
Thanks,
cool.
man. I feel loved.
His lady was from like Bolivia.
What the hell?
Very beautiful woman. When they had like. He had the long blonde hair, crystal blue eyes, but his eyes were so dilated that you can only see like the strip.
Oh, so he was probably on a bunch of E.
Well, that's what they were saying. But then, like, when I was talking to him, it sounded like fuck that. We already know how to trigger this within ourselves.
Well, remember also, if you do acid, it stays in your system, and it can be like activated. Like, I guess it stays like in your spine or something.
Well, that's supposedly, but I've talked to a lot of people, and not so much.
Dude, imagine if you just like do so much, just store there, and you're like, fuck it, I want to trip right now. You just do something, crack your back.
There was one
start
time
tripping
with my buddy. His name now. Well, it's funny because he started off smoking weed, and that's all he ever did. And then he met me, and I was the drug dealer at the time, so I gave him a little ecstasy and that or shrooms, and that kind of opened up a whole world now. And now he goes by Wolfie Bourbon. And he works all these events, and that's how he gets them free. His lady is
changed him, man.
A dominatrix who does fire spinning and shit. Well, they have an open
relationship.
Would
you ever think about going to a dominatrix?
I'm very curious.
Just to do it.
I have
just
a
to
feeling that like the older I get, like I don't think I would like me and my relationship. Like we're open about this. We're very like I'm a Scorpio. I'm very sexual in that sense, but I am very private. So in that sense. I don't think like I would ever partake in these events.
Yeah.
But if there's like a club or something that's showing people going through these things and are open to that, then that's something I probably would be interested to see.
You wouldn't want to be tied up with some chick fucking just smacking your balls with the wand.
Well, that's what I got my lady for. I'm just kidding.
Fair enough.
But I'm not
Fair
so much
enough.
into pain. You know,
No.
I am to the little restrictions and tie-ups and
well,
stuff
what
like
about
that.
the people who go to the
Slight
dominatrix, but they don't do anything sexual?
Well, there's this.
They have them. They like want to be treated as babies, or they want to be treated as like animals, like pets.
Well, I know a certain.
So they make them like.
I know a certain friend that he pays to have a dominatrix piss in his mouth. And that's it. That's it.
That's what they're into.
It's like, okay,
which is weird. But there's a lot of dominatrixes too, where you'll go in there and they're not there to get you off. Like they won't get you off. Like if you bust, that's on your own deal. But they're not gonna physically do it for you.
Well, I heard there's even a whole thing where like there's these guys, these rich dudes that just like to pick up these women, or like they'll just like the more inconvenienced they can be by the woman, the better for them to get off on it.
It's weird.
So they call them at like 3 a.m. Hey, I need $1,800. How the fuck am I supposed to get that out? Figure it out.
Yeah, what
The more they treat them like shit while they do it, the more they get off. Like it's
weird. Like the human psyche is.
Well, like I'm not saying like I'm any better, you know, but it affected me a little different. Like what's that? There's a movie. It's like, hey, I'm not judging. I like to have like get jerked off and put a popsicle in my ass. Like I think it was It's Sunny in Philadelphia. It's like I'm not judging because they're trying to see a dead body and they think, it's the episode where they're like they think they got fed human meat by Frank, Danny DeVito's character. So like, how do we know?
That's such a good
How do we know? Well, let's go and we'll try it and we'll see. Then we'll know. So they go to a morgue with a hot plate and like some other things. And the guy thinks that like, I'm not judging. He thinks they're trying to get sexually off. Yeah. But then they're like, no, we're not weird. We're just trying to eat them.
We're just trying to eat them, man. Let's not get crazy.
I love that show.
No, I think I would probably go to a dominatrix probably just once. Maybe just once. I don't know if I like it or not. But that's the scary part, dude.
You don't know if you'll like
trying something for the first time. You're like, I don't know, man. You come out there, you're like, dude, I'm coming back next week. Like,
like you're just afraid that once you have that, you'll never be able to get off again. Just chasing the essential dragon.
Right. I need some whips, man. I need some whips. But yeah,
2 years from now, we go to Jose's house and it looks like something from
right. I have a fucking well down there, like Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
I'm the one in the hole.
Right. Like, oh my God. Lotion, please.
Oh, yeah. Give me the lotion.
Oh, God. The fact that you're in the hole begging for it. That's what's funny about it.
Exactly. Give me the fucking lotion. Whoa.
No, that's right.
Make it the menthol lotion. Dude, that would hurt so bad. But going back to Lightning in a Bottle, was there like music and shit like that too?
Oh yeah.
What kind of like artists and stuff? Was it EDM?
It has everything you can think of. Yeah. Like for me, like I started off with EDM, but it's been getting boring, to be honest. But this year it seemed to be a lot of live bands, and it was awesome. We saw a band called Dirtwire, just one word, Dirtwire, and they were amazing. They were like political. But they were like 3 guys, and they continually changed the instruments as they would play their songs. Like one guy busted out the harmonica. It's more like bluesy, like folky kind of, but fucking rocks it, man. They like, oh my God, these guys are amazing.
You think you're gonna be getting some of their albums?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like check them out. I think they're on like everything. So
I'm sure they're on YouTube.
Check them out. You would definitely love them because it's just like tell it like hell. No, when they're just talking to the president as they're going, but it works with them so well, and it was amazing. Like they bust out the violin at certain points.
See, I love that. I love a live violin.
Like these are real musicians.
Yeah,
like, they just. There was one instrument I had no idea what the hell it was. It looked like some kind of banjo guitar, but the base of it was one big like domed circle, right? And it had like a hole here, it had a hole in the front, hole in the side, and then it had like a square. Like shaft for the strings, but on one part where they're like the normal guitar would have the strings, it looked like there were certain strings on the side of it as well. Like I have no idea what that was, but
I think that could possibly just be like a homemade thing, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, you were telling me about that other guy.
Yeah, I think it was from Revolution, where the guy just made his own guitar pretty much. Well, I don't know if he made it, but it looked pretty pretty homemade.
But that's the thing, like they seem to know their history.
Yeah, so, I think as long as you know how basic instruments work, you can work a way around that and make your own instrument to make it sound how you want with different stuff. Just like the people who imagine the first person who came out with the double fucking guitar, the one with the 2 guitars on it. They're probably like, "What the fuck is this guy all about?" Or the keytar,
the triple, like the double string guitar.
Yeah,
when they do those,
that shit's fucking crazy. What, like 12 strings on the fucking thing, just going nuts on
They're
it.
They're just side by side on each one. Yeah. So when you press down on one, it does both, and it gives it that double ring. It's awesome. It's
fucking crazy. Yeah. So imagine like people who just started doing that. People are like, "Dude, that's never gonna work," and they did it. Like, oh my god, we need to get one.
Yeah.
So who knows?
But yeah, they had like Fozzy Bluke, and that's at like one stage called the Grand Artique, where it's like a man-made stage, and it's usually for just like local little bands. Or like last year, there was a red-headed, red-beard rapper who was like talking about the third mind and chakras, like gun blinding yourself with this black singer. Like she was amazing. Like it was really awesome bands, and then you never really know what you're gonna get. Like at one point, we're walking through and we hear like Spanish guitar.
Yeah. You know, it's like the flamenco type thing.
Yeah, like it was just very like authentic. And then we like, okay, let's check this place out. And well, I was on acid at the time. So, but fuck, dude.
Well, that's why they call you Acidic Aaron.
I didn't even think of that. Yeah. Well, it was about my anger, but
close enough.
Yeah. But it works, yeah. I'm gonna tell that next time and be like, yeah. Well, I ended up doing it a lot, like the longest I've ever done it. It went from like just this one of my new friends that we met, because a lot of the people we went and camped out with, we either met there and then we continue to meet up every year and do it. And we all live locally, like in Downey and everywhere around here. So we've all developed friendships from this. So we even have like every time someone comes, and next year we always bring more new people, but we always seem to be like-minded. Yeah. So I met this man named JP. I keep saying PJ every time I like saw him, like PJ.
How old was JP?
I believe in his like maybe later 30s or so. Like skinny, blonde haired, German looking man.
Oh, okay.
But the nicest guy, very reserved, and like even at points I got a little nervous for him because I don't know, like meeting new people, and he was very reserved. We're like, oh, we'll meet you at the stage, and then he's like, oh, I'm gonna get ready, and then he wouldn't even show up. Like he just seemed to be like chilling by himself, and like we kept pushing him. Hang out with us. Hey, we want to hang out with you. Like, and it scared me for a moment because like it just made me a little worried because he was so nice, and to the point like, oh, what do you want? Like I wasn't even planning on doing much since I've kind of lived those days and done too much, and he just ended up giving me liquid acid, and he knew his shit like to the T. Like this guy knows his drugs. Yeah, and
that's probably why he was so reserved. He's like, I don't know, I don't trust fucking going with random people and have all these drugs on me right now.
But by the end of the weekend, he was out there. He even went alone and partied his ass off. So we were just happy that he broke out of that and really enjoyed himself in the end of it.
Yeah. But do you ever go to like festivals or any kind of shows alone?
I used to do it all the time. Me and my friend Woofy Bourbon, he used to be called Tarzan during the days of our raving. And every time we would go together, we just get fucked up, and it's like, later.
You just split up.
We just split, and luckily somehow we always met up when we needed to, and we drove back home. But it was the most adventurous, most like even my fiance, she's like, this is the place you can do it and not have to worry, because even if some shit goes down, there's that one asshole. These are the people that are actively fighting, and they will not let that shit go down.
There's always shit like that. Where one person will try to start something,
and then you really
yeah.
feel it because you don't see it at all anywhere. You know, sometimes I saw ambulances, and that's sad to see.
Well, yeah, I've been to plenty of festivals, especially I think the ones that were more sketch were the all age ones.
This seems to be a little older.
Those were like mostly like the I guess underground ones, kind of
the warehouses.
Yeah, where they would get. Oh man, you'd see people getting super fucked up. And like, dude, what is it? Like this person would like. I've seen a few people show up with an actual like little kid. I'm like, dude, why are you
their little brother and stuff?
Yeah,
and they're all
or like just
in front of them.
sometimes be like their actual kid, like their son or daughter or something.
That would always make me nervous.
And like I think at one there's an actual like baby. There was like a 2-year-old, and it looked like the baby was rolling balls.
Oh god.
Yeah, and we're like, what the fuck? And the cops came because everyone's like, dude, something's not right with this kid.
Yeah.
And well, then eventually that's why they started making them like 18 and up.
You have to.
Yeah, because I think there was one at oh my god, I think it was in San Bernardino where I think the girl was like 13 to 15 years old, but she told her parents that she was staying the night at her friend's house.
I remember that. That's the one that was actively when I was raving, and it affected the community big time.
Oh yeah, because the venue closed down for festivals and stuff. Yeah, because
That one was sketch too, though.
Well, yeah, dude. Like, shoot,
sketch.
being 13, 15 years old, telling your parents you're going to a friend's house and you end up at a rave, but you end up getting ditched, or you end up like leaving with someone and they find you like the next day or two in a parking lot when it's raining, just freezing your ass off.
Oh my God, that would be another thing. Is we're all walking to the cars at 3 a.m. and there's all these girls and like practically nothing, and there's just moments where like, oh my God, I think we're gonna freeze. You know, like,
it's I don't get it, man. I've seen
that.
I've seen some people actually show up at a warehouse party in like fucking dress and like club attire. I'm like, dude, you're in the wrong spot.
Where you are?
Like, yeah, they're like, this is a club. I'm like, no.
Well,
like, you're gonna have fun, but it's not a club. Like,
one of the first raves I took my fiance to, and it's actually. Well, she's my fiance now, but at the time she had a boyfriend, and we were friends for like 6 months. I had no idea that we liked each other. Mm-hmm. So we go to this rave. I was giving the light show, and then she gave me a look that I couldn't really mistake as anything else, you know, and that's pretty much what started everything.
She gave you the come fuck me eyes?
Yeah, but I was giving a light show, and I was like, oh, I've never got that look giving a light show. I was like, yeah. So I was like, on. Exactly. It was like, okay, doors open, fuck it. And after that, now we're 7 years and engaged.
God damn.
But that being said, right next to her, as she's sitting down by the sound booth, right? We're just chilling indoors by the sound booth, and it's just like a big circle of people just chilling, having a good time. And this girl comes, like, as I'm doing my thing, giving her a light show, this girl comes down and squats, like, next to her. Okay, like, okay, maybe she wants the light show.
Yeah.
You know, and then, I don't know, it's like she's wearing a black skirt, but I see in the line of, like, her knee that there's, like, another piece of layered clothing.
Yeah.
Like a little stripe. So it kind of looked a little weird to me, right? I noticed that it's her underwear.
Oh, God.
And you see what's about to happen. Bitch is about to piss all on the floor right there. I start tripping now. I'm like, Gina, get up, get up, get up. She's like, oh, fuck. What? This bitch is about to piss on you. like, it's like, wait, what are you talking about? And then the girl doing it got mad at me. Like, what? Like, what?
Like, bitch, I didn't ask for a golden shower. I asked for a light show. Fuck.
Like, and then, like, everybody was sitting around, and this puddle starts fucking forming. And you think, no, maybe it's just a little bit. No, it's like the flood of the River Nile just coming out, and it's fucking expanding. It's going to the corner of the wall from the mid booth of the thing. I'm like, get up, everybody. They're like, what? This bitch is pissing on the floor. Everybody just starts fucking. But no shame.
Dude,
no shame.
Those cuddle puddles on the floor, sometimes they piss me off just because you'd be at giant fucking festivals and people were just sitting on the floor and you can't see them. It's fucking dark. And you're walking like, hey, man, you stepped on me. Yeah, you're sitting on the fucking floor, dude. Like,
I almost stepped on someone, yeah.
Yeah, dude, I've stepped on so many people. Eventually, like, I was that asshole, just like, fuck it, I'm not even looking down anymore.
We ran into oh, fuck, yeah. Cool, because we put all our stuff, like, down on the floor in the middle, and there's always certain people that are fucked up or just very, very inconsiderate.
Oh, no, me and my friends always carried our backpacks with
us.
us.
And then they don't even look at you and fucking just rush through the middle of your group, and then...
Oh, yeah. Okay. Usually, I know people are just rolling balls, and they're, like, we've been those fucking people who just... Like, shit, we're over here, the set just ended, but we have another set way across the other venue or the other side of the venue just to get to the next guy we want to see. So we just fucking book it, just trucking through everyone. We're like, my bad.
The more drugs I do, the less I give a fuck.
Like, well, I just don't give a fuck either way. But
that sounds nice. That sounds cool. Let's go there.
Well, me and my friends, we tend to like, we used to like plan it out, you know? Yeah. We're like, all right, there's going to be these DJs. All right, so at this time we're going to see this one. Or, well, I'm going to split up with you guys because I want to see this one more than that. Like, no, we planned our shit out. So we'd go and the first thing we'd do whenever we'd get to a festival, especially if they're like 100,000 people or plus, we're like, all right, well, here's our meeting point.
We'll meet here.
If anything, if we don't see each other within like a half hour or something like that, fucking just meet up here.
That's a cool new thing. Did you ever see totem poles back when you were doing this back in the day?
Not really.
Because at LIB, it's like a big thing where it's so massive and like, God, there was just one point. There's like the thunder stage, and then there's like the lightning stage. And the lightning stage is just nothing but like flowing flaps and just like lights, just like crazy. Where the thunder stage is nothing but heavy bass. Where you go in, you're like, this is too much.
Yeah.
Well, for me,
I'd be that guy who'd be at the bass stage, either drum and bass or whatever, and I'd be that guy that you'd see with his head over the fucking railing in the fucking speaker, just head banging and shit. Come out, can't hear anything.
But these are so big, like it's meant for so many big people that if you're doing that, you're gonna blow out your ears like so bad.
Oh yeah. You definitely come out like I remember after my my first rave, my ears are still ringing. We're sitting at a Denny's at like 6 or 7 in the morning, and we're sitting like it's softly like elevator music, you know, so ding 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 that shit. and we're sitting there still just headbanging like if it's fucking just bass and shit. Yeah,
you hear the
we're still just like
behind it.
Mind you, I'm not rolling. I'm just still just like pumped up from the fucking show.
That's true, but rolling does make you hear shit that isn't there.
Well, I'm sure a lot of drugs do.
Fuck, dude. We're going to talk a lot about this when we tell our stories with the blacked out voices and stuff. Is that going to be on our Patreon or something?
Yeah, it's going to be on Ratreon.
That's going to be Ratreon.
On Ratreon.
But that's a good one. Like I have stories where I kissed the wrong girl one time.
Yeah, that'll happen.
At the party. Yeah. But my general reaction at the moment, like her friends saw it. And they saw from the look in my face that no, he thought that was you. So it all worked out.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it was like The Craft, where like that dude's hooking up with a chick and it's his chick, and then he turns back and it's someone else. It felt exactly like that.
Oh
fuck! Oh shit!
I gone fucked up.
So those stories will be there. I want to save them for that. Yeah.
But so.
Well, let me tell you the quick thing. What I was saying, since it's so massive, they have these things called totem poles. So they're like long, like say 9 feet long, like high, with the crazy symbols. Sometimes they have like celebrity faces, like Jim Carrey, but with like what's it called, the Snapchat, where it makes the face squint to the middle. So they got like totems like that.
The fuck?
Like random shit. But like our neighbors had a big arrow, like you are here. So every time we saw it across, like there they are. And that's how you meet. So easy. So easy. Yeah,
we'd walk in, say if it was like a Beyond Wonderland or something like that. And we'd walk in, we're like, all right, well, we're all going to meet up at the Caterpillar like right before we leave. So then we're like, okay, well, that's our meeting point. It's the Caterpillar, like the right leg or something. Yeah. You know, just whatever the fuck it was at the time. Exactly. We're like, if it was like Winter Fresh, we'd be like, okay, well, we're going to meet at the fucking giant snowflake.
Yeah.
Like shit like that.
But yeah, the total makes it so much easier.
Yeah,
I love it.
That's the smartest thing to do is go in there. You have to have a fucking meeting point. Like if anybody gets lost or splits up, you fucking meet here.
Well, that was cool about LIB because we have the camp, you know, and like we're going back and forth because it's really hot during the day and then really cold at night.
It's fucking freezing.
So you're constantly going back and forth. Yeah.
That's why you gotta take to like any of those things like that when it gets really hot during the day. Take the Under Armour. Workout shit, so like it'll keep you cool. Like you just keep cool. Carry a camel pack, man.
We had it all in the gear. We're like we ended up rushing, doing everything last minute, just like everybody does. We forgot we forgot that. That was the one thing we forgot. It was like the Under Armour thermals that are polyester.
Yeah, so they keep you cool. Like it absorbs the sweat, so you're not really fucking freaking out.
Yeah. Well, you live and learn. It was great though.
Yeah,
I highly recommend it.
Festival. If you guys haven't ever been to any kind of festival, just pick one with the kind of music you like. Just fucking go to it. Take some friends. You guys, even if they don't like the music or if you don't like the music, you'll have a great fucking time.
You'll find something that you like.
Yeah, you'll run into people.
It
you
always
run into all sorts of different people. Yeah, you have a good time.
Go in with an open mind. That's what's funny about that too. Out of all the thousands of people, the 2 people I wanted to see but had no way of like contacting, ran into them.
See, there you go.
It's always great. That's how this place works.
Yeah. But now to change it, because you brought it up the other day.
I might get a little serious.
Yeah, well, I don't know about serious, but
I get mad.
Because I have no idea what the fuck's going on. I've been seeing her face on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everything. Fucking Kathy Griffin. What the fuck did she say?
It's not what she said.
No
it's
clue.
what
Or what
she did.
What did she do?
She made a video pretty much decapitating Donald Trump. Like mannequin.
Yeah.
And then like pretty much by the end of it, it's like her holding a severed head, blood just ripping down the face, and everybody just lost their shit. But what I'm upset about is she's a fucking comedian.
Yeah.
Period. She's a comedian. This is her outlet. This is how it goes. But we got these asshole guys like, well, he's Trump, he's our president. Well, then that means you have to go, every comedian go after them and call them traitors?
Yeah.
This is bullshit.
Every comedian who doesn't like Trump is saying something or talking shit.
Exactly.
I think
exactly. He said, grab him by the pussy. No one gives a fuck about that.
Well,
but she does a
like
little thing
minutes.
as a comedian, and everybody's holding her to a moralistic fucking view. Is bullshit.
I think.
Like, see, this is where I start cussing. No, this is fucking bullshit. Like,
no, I think in also the defense of the people who are going against Kathy Griffin, it's also the fact that the people who have actually had members decapitated by
I can
the
understand
terrorists,
that.
I can see that aspect
and there's
of
certain
it.
people saying like, thanks, Kathy Griffin, because you showed us how to hate. And as our outlet, this is why we do what we do. Rather than getting pissed off at the world, we let it out and we talk about it. We do something in a constructive way. So with that, I understand. But then again, she's a comedian. So this is her shock value. Or like, this is how her mind works. So like I can understand that. It's not it's just like I don't understand why they what's his name, Ted Nugent wanted to fucking hang and lynch Obama.
Yeah,
and fucking did all those things, and no one gave a fuck about that.
Yeah, it's
a lot of people are saying it's because she's a woman and she's an easy fucking target.
That too, and then didn't she get fired from CNN or something?
Yeah, she lost everything.
Yeah,
Ted Nugent didn't lose shit.
Well, at least
but then again, that is his character. But then again, it's her
at
character.
least at this point now, this is a starting point, or at least a midpoint for a book that she could write, which people will end up fucking buying because they want to hear her side of the story.
Exactly.
So either way, the publicity is working for her side.
To me, it's a political statement because even as they're attacking her, it shows a good point. Like, why the fuck isn't Ted Nugent held accountable for his words and can say to lynch the president and shit like that?
Yeah.
But now people are pissed at Kathy Gifford saying, no, he's our president. We have to show respect. What?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I was watching like tidbits of.
But I'm saying we pick and choose who we want to fucking hold to these like bullshit ideologies. You know, we let it go when it's him, but once it's her, we fucking attack. And like a lot of people are saying, it's a sexist kind of thing because a lot of these
sexism is never gonna end.
Well, no. But my
it's
point
like
is,
racism. There's always gonna be racist. There's always gonna be
my
sexist.
point is these
and bigots.
assholes that tend to shout out to be the squeaky wheel. Essentially, those are always those dipshit type of people. So now that they see a woman doing it, these men who probably don't have as much, you know, take it more and you know that's what sends them over the edge.
If you notice too, whenever you're having like a conversation with a fucking person who's like hardcore into their thoughts, whenever you're actually bringing out points, they'll just continuously get louder and louder and louder
because they don't want to hear it.
So it gets to the point where you're only hearing, and everybody else around is only hearing that person fucking screaming and saying whatever the fuck they want. So if they're saying, oh, this person did this, that, blah, 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 they're going to be like, okay, well, what the fuck did this guy do to piss you off so fucking bad? And not seeing that this person is just being an ignorant asshole.
Well, that's kind of like, well, I hope they don't ever see this episode, but I kind of had like something like that this weekend on Facebook, where it was like one of my friends was like, oh, well, thank God, you know, since the Accords, the Paris Accords, since Donald Trump dropped out of that, one of my good friends was just happy that California, our governors are just going to follow through and make sure we follow admission standards and follow through with it. That's all she really said. Oh, thank God. Yeah, someone on her side of the family ends up coming out, blah, 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 it's bullshit. Like, you know, this. I'm like, we're not saying it's great, but it's better than doing nothing.
Yeah, we got to do something.
And I just called her out because she's like, I just think it's bullshit that the media displays it as this. I'm like, well, what's your, like, I responded saying, like, well, which media are like you saying? When you say media, do you mean all media except the one that you're getting your information from? And once I said that, she's like started calling me like, "Oh, you're just trying to agitate people and piss them off." I'm like, I'm just asking.
It's like no, because
she's like, I feel like I shouldn't have to explain what I mean by the media. So I'm like, well, you openly started an argument. If you feel like you shouldn't have to explain your argument, isn't that an oxymoron?
Yeah, because there's Fox people and there's CNN people.
They don't care. Like
they all have different perspectives. They're all going to talk shit. They're all
club
going to oppose.
mentality.
Yeah, and if you've seen the Wall Street Journal, I don't know if you saw that picture of the Wall Street Journal, where it's the same picture, different caption, and same fucking newspaper or magazine, whatever the fuck it is. But they send it to one region and it says one thing about Trump, something positive, and they send it to another region and it says something negative about it.
Yeah, that's not news.
So no, it's just reaching out to the people so they can actually buy it. It's all for profit and money. That's all.
Well, that's the biggest thing with like Google and stuff. It's like we're not being told what we need to hear. We're being told what we want to hear.
Yeah, but that's why you have to dig deep into those random sites.
We have to do our research.
But then again, when you do look up into these other sites, a lot of it's being claimed as fake news or shit like that, or clickbait.
That's just an easy way to write it off.
Yeah,
nowadays.
But that's the hardest part is what can you believe on the internet though?
People. You gotta
That's why
Henry Rollins, people like that actually actively go out into the world, not assigned by a company or anything, that are doing it because they want to go out there. Henry Rollins fucking goes to all these crazy countries, and the first thing he does is like, where shouldn't I go? Yeah. And why? And he just seeks out these most dangerous spots. Like people like that. Yeah. Well, why would he lie?
It's like people saying that that Mexico is such a corrupt and crazy place that you shouldn't go there because you will be fucking killed if you go down there.
Yeah, everybody's going for Cancun and shit.
So people go down there. People do get kidnapped. I'm not saying they don't, but
no, that's correct.
That happens everywhere. People get kidnapped here. They just had that sex ring that they stopped in San Diego not too long ago. So it's right here.
That's been a big history with the United States is sex trafficking and people trafficking, especially out of Florida and Miami.
And anywhere by any kind of water where they can actually ship them out to.
Exactly. Anywhere.
It's fucking horrible. But that goes with anything. Like, people are just talking, so they say so many negative things about, like, either a person or place or anything, and they're just trying to push this one fact on you, and that's all they have, but they'll push it with everything they got in like 50 different ways.
It's like we, as a nation, we suffer from like agoraphobia, where we're just afraid to go out of our comfort zone.
Yeah, you know, but anywhere. Also look at our news though. Everything that they're posting or sharing on the news, it's all negative. You don't see positive things.
It's because that's what sells.
Yeah, which is fucking sad.
But you know, that's why we have the people we live with. We get those stories from the people we interact with. You know, I heard so many great stories this weekend at the festival, and it really does restore my faith in humanity and to feel comfort and knowing that there are people like us that if you're hurting, if there's anything going on and someone's trying to rob you, I'm probably gonna get stabbed trying to help you out, you know, and feel comfort in that and do it.
And
for
that's what we want.
Exactly.
Not you getting stabbed, but help people.
Yeah. Well, just, you know.
No, but I think at that point
together.
we
ended on a good one. Yeah. I like it.
Help people. Don't be an asshole.
Yeah.
Or at least be a nice asshole.
Because you want the same for yourself. Period. Boom.
Yeah, I know I'm an asshole, but I'm a nice asshole.
Yeah. I never worry with him. He'll step up.
I am a nice asshole.
As our boss is like, you guys are so
I'll call you a bitch,
shit.
but I'll be bitch. I love you. That's
all right.
That's
Well, until next time, you guys. Yeah.
Yay.
Music.
Music.